All right. So let's start with the webinar for today. We normally do what we call the sales webinars on a weekly basis. But today, because we released the 3.4, we thought that would be better to do a webinar focusing on the new tools that we have on this new release. So as I said, and you can see at the bottom of MatrixGold, this is the version 3.4. So we have released a few new tools, a lot of bug fixes that you can find in gemvision.com. When you go to the MatrixGold and the tab What's New, you'll find all the release notes that we have for this version. Also, you'll find a video where we are explaining all the tools that we have added to the software, the improvements that we made. And in case that you have the membership, you also can go to the Gemvision Academy, and there we have tutorials on how to use these tools. So let me start. There is quite a lot. We normally we used to get around 30 minutes on these webinars, so I will try to go as fast as I can. Let me just hide this. Hide controls, fantastic. So now I have access to all my tools. So just to show you, I always like to have real cases. So let me go to tools and get a cathedral ring. And now on this cathedral ring, what I will do is just add a profile placer. So I will go for the profile placer. I will select this curve. Outside curve will be this one. And I will change the profile, right? So I will select something like this. Now, if I would like to finish this cathedral ring, I would have to add another one here and use the sweep one that actually is giving us a close surface. But now what we can do is activate auto sweep. And in just one go, I have this new tool that it's called cap, that it does a flat cap and it's dynamic. All right. So let me bring it to this layer. Now, even if I change the finger size, everything keeps the same. So I have a close to the surface, as you can see. So this is something that we have in Rhino, but we were missing from MatrixGold on a dynamic way. So now even if I go and I change the profile to something different, let me use something like this, I still will get the same result. So this is something that I believe that it's not a big tool, but in many, many scenarios may be very, very handy. All right. So we have already the cathedral ring. Let me just attach a gem to this cathedral ring with using the gem on ring rail. I will go to the 0.5 and I'll do something like this. I will do the same that I did before on this one, and I will add another profile. And because it's super easy to do it using the cap, instead adding another profile and doing the sweep one, I will do activate auto sweep and again surface cap on this one. So I have a close poly surface. Of course, that I can go back to the profile placer and make it thinner so it makes more sense. Again, I like to keep it on this layer. I will keep an eye to the chat. When I'm designing, normally I don't take a lot of attention to this, but in case that anyone asks anything, I will try to reply. So things that I also we have had. So we were talking about the dynamic cap that is different from, let me show you, from the profile cap. So the difference is that on the profile cap, you can do dome shapes, but with when you have like a hollow part, you cannot use that one. This is why we created the flat cap one. And I will show you in another example later on. Something that also we have been working is that we had a problem with the gallery rail and under bezel that they were inverting when we were going inside. Now, once you go farther and you cannot create geometry, it disappears. But now it works much better. Something that it's also good to have is that if you put 0, it will match up exactly the width or the dimensions of the gem. This was different before. It wasn't make sense the way that it was before. So now today we have it like this. And as I said, are little things that for any jeweler using on a daily basis MatrixGold, this helps a lot. We did the same with the under bezel. So it's the same for both tools. All right, so this is the under bezel and it does the same. So if I go, let me go flat here. I to do it like this. Also, you see, once we go farther on that one, I go, it disappears, but when I get it back, we get the right shape. So we don't get an inverted shape that was causing sometimes problems because we wasn't generating the right surface. Of course, that if you go to virtual offset 0, it will be totally flat. So flat or just at the same dimension that the gem. So this is what the jeweler is looking for. All right, let me just do something like this. And now I will use the head. With the head, it's a little thing that we have been experiencing for a long time. And it's, as you probably already know, with the head, we have 3 different ways that we can use the head. So we have when we go to the base style, we can go to head point, or head cut to point. But what happens is if we are on head and we want to go a bit farther than 30 degrees. Before, when you were reaching this angle, it was bringing you some problems. But now today, you can go farther. So this is little details that you see when you go farther, then it does like this. This is normal because we cannot generate the geometry, but you need to find the right place. If you want to go farther, then is when you need to use the other 2 options that we have, head point or head cut to point. I will use it like this. I will just open up a bit the angle, and just to make it a bit nicer, I like to keep it like this and just drop it. All right, cool. Now, as you know, with the cathedral, we can always edit and just adapt it to the new shape. I will go back a bit like this and like this. Let's put a bit more of angle here. All right, so everyone has their own way to finish. Let me look at the list because there are so many. So we did the head. Yeah, now something else that we also have something that the people was asking for is that when I select this curve, now I can go to the curves tab and select the offset curve. So I will select this one, select the curve. Now, as you can see, it's giving me an error, and it's because the offset is too big. So if I need to go a bit less. And now, as you can see, I get another line, but it's following the surface. So this is very, very important. It's not at the same level, it's following the surface. So you can use this on any surface, on the sphere, any surface. So you can keep adding as many lines as you want. So if we go closer and we add more, I can add as many as I want. And on both sides, always following the surface. All right. Now, let me just go to 1. And I will move it farther away. And I will keep it like this. What else? We had a problem with the gem on curve, that it wasn't doing well the star position, the star type. So now it's the center of the gem. But if I want it to the edge, I just need to do like this and I get it to the edge. So this is also another little thing that we were missing and we have fixed in this new version. I will make it smaller and I will make it like this here. Something I don't know if you have noticed that it's very important, and this is something that many people has been asking for a long time, is that now finally we have the count and the total carat. So if I start, you can see how many stones do you have every time and the total weight for these stones. So this is something that also we were missing. Now we have it. Something else that also, as I said, now MatrixGold is in a stage where all the big base it's done. So the base that we need to have a very, very powerful software is done. Now we need to clean up little things that the customers are missing. When you are designing, you know, every day, a lot of designs every day, you want little things to be the way that you want, the way that the jeweler on. This is what we are working now with MatrixGold. So we are fine-tuning little things that the people is facing every day. So something that the people was also asking for is with the prongs on surface to have the availability to just use the hotkeys. Now, if I select the surface, let me just drop this a bit. I'll do something like this. I will move it. And now with the hotkeys, with the Q, I can make it smaller very fast. So this is something that the people also was asking for. Now we have it. And as you can see, I can make it bigger or smaller. If I want to select any, I can and move it. I can move it anywhere. So this is something that the people was asking for. And finally, we got it. Now I choose the wrong way. There we go. All right, so let me just add a few more here. And what I will do is just use the mirror. Let me hide this. All right, so transform, use the mirror, and there we go. So now we got it on the other side. All right, so probably if I would have to add prongs in this gemstone curve, I wouldn't use the prongs on surface. I would use the prong placer. That would be faster. But just to show you the hotkeys that we have added to the prongs on surface, I thought that this would be a good example. Something else that we have been working is that if we look into the collections, and I will just import one piece, because something that we also have been working on is with the objects on curve. So before it was limited to just one object. Now today, if I just get this one, I'll do something like this. It's okay. All right. So now, if I want to place this in this area, before I wasn't able to use more than one object unless I was doing a Boolean. Today, if I go to the solid object on curve and I select this curve, let me just select one. And now I go to object and I select these two objects. So now, as you can see, I have the two objects. Let me select the target. And now I can make it bigger, but at least I have already just two. So if I go to the size, I click 1.2, I get bigger. Now, something that also the people was looking for is, and now you will see that this doesn't make sense, but just to show you, what happens if you have been designing these objects and you want to keep this size? Before you was enabled, well, you had to look for the same size, looking into where I was making it now bigger. But now you have, instead using the size, you have the preserve object size. So if I click here, now of course that it doesn't make sense, but as you can see, the dimensions that I have for these ones are the same that I have in the real one. So this is something that it's cool, because there are times that you are designing this area and you want to preserve it. So this is what you need to do. All right, so we'll keep it like this. And now what I will do is just use the mirror. All right, so transform. Every time that I want to use the mirror, I have the zoom controls that are not allowing me to do it. All right, so now we would have here something that everything is still is parametric. So if I select all this stuff and I just move it on the other side, I'll have something that is parametric. And it's not just about the parametric. MatrixGold is parametric, and this many times gives you a lot of power, because now if I want to get this for whatever reason, if I want them get closer to the stones, I just need to go to the new offset curve on surface and move it to 0.65, and everything will get closer. So now everywhere. So these are little things that when you need to make these changes, it helps you a lot. All right. Let me look into the list. So we have the gem on curve, prongs on surface, object on curve, object on curve. Something else that we have been working is the dynamic loft. So if I go to tools and I go to cathedral, just say that you have here, let me trim that. This is what I was trying to do. So let me just trim from here just to here. And I will do the same, show. And I will do the same. Now, because finally I will be able to show you the the loft. So if I have these two curves, I can make a loft here. Since that today it's not my lucky day. So let me just use another tool that we have, that is the flip. It's this one. And let's see now if it's working well. Perfect. All right, because we trim it, we see it, everything, but this is, the loft is most of the times just to use it as a reference, because now what I can do is just use the gem on surface, for instance. I can add a gem here that, you know, many times when you are creating the cathedral, you want to create a peekaboo gem. So what you can do is just follow this, and I can create a bezel that actually there is something also new with this bezel, that if I go to flat Now we have the chamfer toggle. This is also something that the people was asking for. So now we have it here. All right. And now once we have the gem on surface, then we can add it here. If I go and I make any change, it will follow the gem all the time. All right, because what it's doing is just following this surface that actually is attached to these curves. So this is something that also is very useful. All right, let me see. What else do we have? So we have the loft. Now, something else that we have been working is if I go, let me do a new one. So we'll make a new document and I will go to the top view, just to create like a pendant. Now I just need to create one line and we have something new, the profile placer. Let me just try to find which is the best. And I will use this profile. So we have another tool that I think that can be pretty cool when you are using I will use this one, the profile placer. And it's this new option that is activate the hollow profile. So when I activate the hollow profile, I keep always the same thickness. All right, so I can do like this, and I can set the width. So I want it open like this, and the thickness, I want it about 0.7. Now I can add another one here, and another one here. If I want to select this one and I want to make it wider, I can do it without a problem. And then I can activate the auto sweep. The problem now with this one is that it's too big. So let me try to make it more like this. And I can play a bit with the trim so you need to keep playing, you know, with all the different options that you have. It's funny because more than a pendant, it seems like a Coca-Cola bottle, but it's okay. We'll keep it like this. And now we will use from surface the cap. That is this one. All right, so now I have just a closed surface. And it's empty inside. I will bring it to this layer. So now we have been using the new one. So this can be very, very useful, you know, when you're trying to do, depending what surfaces. Of course, that I need to play a bit with the thickness that I have here. So probably on this one, I would need to go with the trim a bit less. To keep the same. So now looks much better. And now once we have this, you can use it, you know, for many, many different applications. So you're creating lightweights. Dynamic profile, dynamic cap. And something else that we have added also is, just let me move the curve. So let me see where I have the curve. Now, if I create a smart curve, close, and from here I go to gems and I use the custom gem with this curve. We have the gem mode option now. This is something that we were missing. So now if you have a gemstone, this is something that it's also good to have, because now you can go and just play a bit more with that. I need to add more pavilion rows. So now, you know, sometimes the gemstones, we know that the pavilion is more roundish, and depending on what you need to use, it's good to have this so you can have, you know, the right shape. Anyway, so this is something new that we have added. Of course, that also with the settings, I already have been telling you that we have the new chamfer toggle. So this is something that also the people was looking a lot for. Right, so now this is something that is very, very convenient. And as per render materials, also we have added a few render materials in the Render Studio. And these are the pearl golden, the pearl black, and also the turquoise. So these three materials also we have added materials that the people was asking for. So this has been added also in MatrixGold. All right, so this is all that I had for today. There are, if you go to gemvision.com and look into the what's new, you will see all the release notes. As I said, a video explaining what we have done in this release. But there are many, many, many things. I see that boy is replying already to someone. Hello, sir. I have a few very few options in profile placement methods, and when I see many options, please help. So Gautam is asking for the options that I'm showing here. This is in the last release. I'm not sure if you are in the 2.6 or in the 3.4. So if you are in the version 2, of course that there is a lot of functionality missing. If you got the upgrade to MatrixGold 3, you should see all that I see in my one. All right, so there are many new functionalities in the profile placer. Also the same for carry, that is asking in gem guides, the central toggle is a new feature. So yes, this was something that, and I'm not sure, but it was released, I would say, in the 3.3. So when you go to the gem guides, you have one toggle that is here. You have this guide also that is very convenient when you need to make, you know, different settings. All right, so Gautam is saying that he has the last one. So you should see, once you update, as I said, to update, just go to the launcher. Here you should have the option in this area here, the option to update your new one. So just go here and release the new update. All right, so I don't see, I'm just going and looking all the comments. So yeah, I don't see any other question. So this is all that I have. The last thing that I would like to mention is that in the next coming days, there will be a lot of news for MatrixGold and for Gemvision. So stay tuned to our social media. There will be a lot of new announcements. So JCK is coming. Anyone who's visiting Las Vegas next Friday, please come by, and we love to talk to all our customers. So we would love to see you in JCK. And as I said, stay tuned because there is a lot. And when I say a lot, I see it in the big mouth, a lot of things coming for Gemvision. So in the next coming days, you will hear a lot from us. So thank you so much for being with us today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.